sensational.
Brilliant.
Totally agree.
Fantastic.
It's a breakfast for a lifetime.
So, Alex, what have you been doing on board Britannia this time?
Well, you know, there's so much to do, you know. Just like eating. I love that cream tea, the afternoon tea at Epicure. That was a highlight. Tour ashore at Cadiz, found some fantastic, like world-class cheese, like about the best cheese I've ever had.
Wow. Even better than your own?
Well, you know, just different. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's so much to do, and when there's lots to do, it's kind of great not to do anything.
We've got a question from Tilly, Alex, and she would like to know what's been your best ever gig.
Best ever gig, Glastonbury 2009 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because we'd all gone off and done our separate things for a while, and I think we thought everyone had forgotten about us, but. That was, yeah, I think we all cried. A lot of people cried that day. But usually, actually, there was one night in Birmingham, like the first time we ever smashed it was in Dudley on a Friday night.
Interesting.
That was pretty good as well. Glastonbury, Dudley, Mexico City was pretty good as well. There's been a few.
Argentina.
Always good fun.
Now I've got another question in. So from Glastonbury to cheese, which is the best cheese that you've ever tasted other than your own?
Well, the Manchego that we managed to find near Cadiz yesterday, that was right up there. The experts tend to agree that the greatest cheese is Gruyere.
Gruyere is a great cheese, but it's not one of my favourites. I mean, if I had to say my favourite cheese, and you'll mostly frown when I say this, I love beautiful Vacherin.
Oh,
I think Vacherin is seasonal, and when you get a beautifully made Vacherin, it's beautifully ripe. It's just food of the gods. It's sensational.
Don't get baguette.
It's more about the texture.
Yeah,
it's like the gorgonzola we had last night. The texture before the flavour just blows you away.
Would you like to film another edition of Battle Chefs?
I'd love to.
Oh, absolutely. Well, where next?
I love working with Alex.
Likewise.
He's my favourite. He really is. He's my favourite rock star.
Yeah.
And I know a few of them, but he's my favourite.
Bless you, Marco.
And he sings a good tune.
It does indeed.
Caribbean next? What do you reckon? Or up north of the Caribbean?
Yeah, Caribbean would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But Alex is a great enthusiast. He's a great chef. But what makes a great chef, in my opinion, is someone who seeks knowledge. And Alex's inquisitiveness for knowledge about food, not just cheese, food in general, and cooking and techniques is amazing. And the other day, in the afternoon, I was just by myself in the kitchen with Nino, and I was going to make a lobster stock. And who pops up? I mentioned it to Alex in the morning. Yeah, said at 2:30, and at 2:25, who walks through the kitchen door to learn how to make lobster stock? Alex James. And that says a lot about Alex.
Absolutely.
Well, you're so generous with your knowledge, Marco. It's, you know, I've learned so much from you.
I wish I could say the same about singing and playing the guitar. I can't play an instrument.
What attracts you to cruising in general?
You know, it's that you can do what you want whenever you want. I think it's just an incredible way to see the world. You know, dining on board is just outstanding. Entertaining. There's so much to do every night, every day. You know, you pitch up somewhere new, and there's 100 things to do. You know, it's a bit like being on tour in a rock band, really. You have what you want when you want.
The same question then to you, Marco. And then for you, Alex, after spending a week with Marco in the kitchen, what have you learned? What have you taken away from this particular cruise?
Well, I learned how to make risotto yesterday, and I will never make it the same again. And that lobster pasta, that was absolutely sensational. So yeah. I mean, I've learned how to cook pasta and rice like Marco does, and I'll be doing that, you know, every week for the rest of my life.
Do you eat cheese every day?
I probably do eat cheese every day. I certainly fancy a little nibble on some cheese every day. And do you know what? I still learn something new about cheese every day, or find a new one. Like there were cheeses near to Cadiz that I'd never seen before. The variety.
Will those cheeses have inspired you to actually make any more cheeses of your own when you go back to the UK?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the great things about travelling is discovering. You know, there's always new things to discover, things that.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, I've got a question for you. You must have toured tremendously with Blur and been all around the world, but where would you say has been your favourite place that's been related to food?
We were in South America last year, and that just absolutely blew my mind. The way they cook steak there, it's like everyone eats steak, and it's surprising. It's all British breeds of cow as well. You know, Aberdeen, Angus, and Hereford, and you know, so it's incredible to be on the other side of the world and eating sort of. You forget sort of how much British tastes have sort of inspired world cooking throughout history, but. Japan's fantastic as well. If I had to pick a cuisine, that probably Japanese is my favourite.
Oh, interesting. Well, I've got a question in from Robert who wants to know, Alex, which cheese should you eat at 10 o'clock in the morning?
I think that's too early for Vacherin. Maybe you know, something light, maybe a little breakfast brie baguette. That's what I fancy right now.
What
Anyway,
about 10 o'clock at night?
10 o'clock at night. Well, blue cheese for dreaming.
Yes, we had this
Nice.
conversation we did a question and answer session in the theatre here on board Britannia, and we spoke about the myth associated with eating cheese late at night, and does it cause vivid dreams? And apparently blue cheese does.
Well, I tried it. I ate a different cheese every day for a week at bedtime, and I did have the weirdest dreams just after smashing a big pile of Stilton. So there's
Great.
something in it.
Yeah.